All right, so I've been thinking for a very long time how to start a couple of tutorials on Maya to help people out there who, like me, at one time, were really like asking themselves how to go about doing things, and so today, I finally found some time to do some of them. I'm going to start with something pretty much, the what I call the basic stuff of what I've learned, using Maya. Some of them by myself, some of them somewhere online that I can't really remember, and not just thinking about putting them all together here. Especially the ones, some of them recently that I came across, and when you do with the software things, one point you're like not satisfied about this, and you start finding different ways to do things. So here we have a basic cube, and this tutorial to me is really for the starters. But you never know. So this one is really pretty much about transformations. I was using Softimage the other day, and got to realize that they have this possibility to move and transform objects, geometry and on planes. Something that isn't very obvious with Maya, especially if you're not going to dig deep into things. But so I came up, found out this one. I was like trying to find out if Mike can do something like that. You have, for example, a cube like this. This cube, if we check in its history, we're gonna see that it has a width of 1, height of 1, and all that in Maya units, and which it tells us that in Maya units, from here to here is 0.5, and from here to here is 0.5, so that's why I get it 1. Now, if I want to move something just on this grid, I don't want, if I do something, if I want, for example, to put this at that extreme end there, and I want it to be lying on a grid, the normal way to do it would, definitely be to go like this, when you're there. And then, we just round it up, probably negative. And then, when you're there, then you put it there, and then, well, you're at negative 12. Then you know that, it's another extreme end. But what if you could, just move it, let me undo, and bring it back where it was. What if you could really, like, cleanly move it there, without, because if I do this, we can clearly see that, it's been translated in Y, and if I go to my perspective views, I can clearly see that it's gone above the grid there. So I want it to just move right there and just staying on the plane. So found out that a cool way to do it is if you hold down Control on your keyboard and you click on that handle, the one you don't want to use, you kind of like deselecting it. You see that this this middle, the middle of the widget there, turns into some right on a plane. Initially that's how it was. It's like facing the camera. So if I do that, it gets on that plane. And now if I use my middle mouse button and I click and drag, you can see there on the channel box that the translate Y is not affected at all, and it's only moving on the two axes that are specified by that plane. So I can pretty much like put it there, but just make sure that it's not going up, it's not going down. It's just staying on the plane there, and I can put it right there, which is really cool. And well, of course, even if you go to another tool like the scale tool, and then you come back to your translate tool, you come back to your move tool, it's still gonna be like that until you control click in the middle to get it as it used to function before. Just one tip, and I hope it helps somebody. Bye.